Hi, it's Alison here from Pathlesstrodden. Today I've come down to my local park, found a very beautiful tree to stand under, to talk to you about living in Tuscany. I live in Empoli at the moment, which is a city in between Florence and Pisa, about half an hour from Florence on the train. And today I wanted to share with you some details about my accommodation, the price of it, and what you should budget if you're planning to come and live here in Tuscany as a single person or as part of a couple. So this is my second year in Tuscany. I teach English to pay my way, and I've just started my second academic year at a school. Teaching English full-time is considered about 25 hours of classes a week, and from that you will take home on average €1,000 a month. That's with taxes all paid for you, so €1,000 in your pocket. Some schools pay more, some pay less, but €1,000 is about average. I have an apartment about 5 minutes away from this park, which has one bedroom and one other room, which is the kitchen and the living room and the dining room together. And that apartment costs me €450 a month rent. At the moment I'm sharing that rent with my boyfriend, but as you'll see from the budget that I'll sketch out a bit later in the video, you'd be able to afford that rent as a single person. So back to my apartment. I'll show you a little clip now of some of the rooms and the bathroom so you can get an idea of the size of place you'll get for €450. So this is the main room in our flat. You just saw the front door there. We use this room as a living room. There's our sofa bed. Also as a dining room. And on the right we have a kitchen. It's the biggest room in the flat, not the brightest because it doesn't have so much natural light, but it's still a nice room. And here we have our bathroom, which has got a really nice shower and obviously the ubiquitous bidet. And then finally onto our bedroom. It's really spacious. We've got a big window, which is well guarded from mosquitoes at the moment. Has a view onto a beautiful courtyard garden, which sadly isn't ours, but looks very nice. Okay, so as you can see, that's my flat this year. Last year I had a flat which cost €500. That was one room, but it had a raised area with a bed, and it had a balcony as well, which my flat this year doesn't have, which is a bit sad because the weather here in Italy is wonderful. But it's encouraging me to come out to places like this a bit more and enjoy the open spaces around. So, once you've paid your rent, obviously you need to think about bills, and usually you'll have electricity, water and gas, and maybe what's called a condominium charge, which includes light bulbs for the stairs and someone to clean the stairs if you're in a shared palazzo as they call it. And generally what I've learnt is that the bills tend to be about €30 every 2 months. That's for each individual utility. 25 to €30 every 2 months. So if you were to budget €50 to €60 a month in total for bills, I think you'd be fine. On to food. Now, I eat quite unusually. Both myself and my partner are raw vegans, which means we only eat natural food, nothing from an animal, no meat. So we eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and we don't cook. I spend about €200 a month on fruit and vegetables, which are wonderful in this part of the world. The sun helps a lot. So I add another €200 onto my budget for my food. I don't have a television, I don't have a car, I don't eat out that much, and travel here is quite cheap. So really, I don't need much more each month to survive, other than the share of my rent, my bills and €200 for my food. So as you can see, from an average take-home salary of €1,000 if you're working 25 hours a week, you could quite easily manage to live in a small apartment even if you were on your own and not sharing with a partner. I remember before I came here, I really had no idea how much things cost, and I didn't know whether I'd be able to afford to live on my own or with my partner. But a year and a half here has given me the experience to say that yes, certainly in Empoli and in Tuscany it is possible. Okay, I think that cities probably would be more. I know it's more expensive in Florence if you want to get an apartment. We're, as I said, in a reasonable sized town, so the price is a bit lower accordingly. Out in the countryside, it's even lower, but generally you need some form of transport, a little moped or a car, if you want to get into towns, because it's not so easy to get around when you're out in the countryside. Okay, so I hope that's helped you. What I would say is if you're thinking of doing it, if you're thinking of taking a leap and coming to Italy, particularly to Tuscany, do it. Because the last year and a half here have been fabulous for me. Such a learning experience and such joyous times. It's a beautiful country with very loud trains, but beautiful food and beautiful people. So if you're thinking of taking the plunge, do it. Okay, great. Well, you can keep up with me on my website, www.pathlesstrodden.com. There you'll find some information about Italy, about this wonderful place, and you'll also find some recipes and other information on my lifestyle. So I'll catch you again soon. Bye.